Hi everyone. So I wanted to jump on video today and just talk a bit about resistance, what it is and how we can move through it. So as humans we all experience resistance in our life. It can feel like this tension going on within us. There's like this inner conflict happening. And it's important to know that resistance has everything to do with us. And it's not to villanize another person that we believe it's coming from, because it's all within us. Ultimately, the resistance is occurring because the stories, the beliefs, the thoughts that we're having are not in alignment with what our soul, our spirit knows and believes. So ultimately, it's like our ego structure, our mind, that part of us that believes in separation is hanging on to and gripping onto. And our soul's like, no, that's ultimately not true. And you know this deep down, and this resistance you're feeling is this inner conflict between the two. And it's a call for healing, it's a call for reconciliation. So we may feel resistance when it comes to a person, for example. But it really has nothing to do with them. What are we thinking about that person? What beliefs do we hold about this person? How are we seeing them? Because most likely it's not who they truly are. We're just perceiving. It's like we're putting labels, we're putting these stories against this person. For our own healing journey, we're getting triggered. It's pushing our buttons. It may bring up our own wounds of rejection or whatever it may be. And so it's triggering us. This person is a reflection of these inner wounds. And so really the step in healing and claiming our power is to first become aware of what's happening here. And if we do go into reactivity at first, that's okay. Allow yourself to do that if you're not aware in the moment. Have forgiveness, have compassion for yourself. But then it's to take time to actually tune into this a bit deeper. See the gift here, see the opportunity. And so when we do that, we can become conscious. We can be like, this is arising in my reality. Why do I feel so hurt? Why do I feel this pain, this tension? It doesn't feel good. I'm feeling it's coming up. I'm feeling that it wants to move. It wants to be freed. It wants to be healed. And so in order to do that, we have to bring the power back to us. Let that person be freed. Thank that person for being that trigger for you. And it's to let them off the hook, let them go and see the healing opportunity that's here. And realize the power is in your hands. Take that power back. You're not a victim here. This is an opportunity, this is a gift to uncover and allow these deeper wounds that perhaps you thought you had dealt with to have further healing. It's like these layers. Sometimes we can just clear the top layer, and then later on there's these deeper layers. And so what we do is we can come within our own self and recognize what's happening. We don't have to understand it all. We don't have to understand where this came from at all. We just have to be present in the moment to expand our consciousness and see from a new perspective. One from love, one from empowerment, one from wanting to bring harmony and unity and integration within ourselves and within the world. And so when we recognize, okay, there's these two opposing parts of me. There's that part of me that is still holding on to this pain, is still holding on to this trauma. And there's that true part of me, my spirit, my soul, that sees through the eyes of love, sees through the eyes of compassion, sees through the eyes of expansion. And so it's an invitation for me to, okay, what stories am I going on about? What thoughts am I having? What beliefs am I holding that aren't true, that are coming up to be transformed? Things come up to our awareness for us, because what we don't know, right? And there are many things that are in our subconscious that we're not conscious of. And so this is why these experiences and things occur in our outer world, so we can be like, oh, I see now. You're not hidden from me any longer. So I can integrate this experience bit by bit with compassion and gentleness and love. Okay? And so when we can identify, okay, I see what's going on here. I see what this is triggering within me. Lack of self-love, lack of self-worth, whatever it may be. Then we can give ourselves the sacred medicine of our own love and presence. And it's giving yourself permission to be in the processing of it. Feel the fear, feel the tension. But simultaneously, you're being in that space where it's like, I'm present with you now, fear or tension or hurt or whatever it may be, anger. I'm present with you now. I'm going to breathe into it. I'm going to feel it. I've created this safe space so I can be with you. And you may invite in source, spirit, whatever it is, to support you with that. Or you may just be with your heart, allowing your heart to take the lead. It's like we're surrendering. We stop that fight. We stop the internal fight between these two parts of us. And instead we're like, I surrender. Because our minds can't figure it out. It's not about figuring it out. It's about allowing. It's all about how can we allow, how can we bring in more love, how can we see more clearly. It's not about figuring things out, resisting, fighting against. And that's really the biggest step, How long will it take us to surrender and allow so alchemy and transformation can occur? It's up to us. We can keep resisting, We can let this internal battle and this resistance go on for a day, or weeks, months, or years. And it's us that holds the power. It's us that determines how long it takes. So how willing can we be to go within and allow it to transform? And you'll notice a shift. You'll notice the tension dissipates. You'll feel love or peace, contentment, joy, or just a calm come over you. You'll feel this sense of freedom. You'll feel a release in your body. Instead of tension, there'll be this relaxation. And it will be so healing. And, going through, when we go through our lives and we experience this, it can be difficult, Sometimes you can feel so stuck in it, you feel so low, and you're like, how can I get out? And it's not about wanting to go straight into love and joy. It's like being okay with where you're at. What if that is the place that you're meant to be in? What if that's perfect for you? What if feeling what we could call low vibrational energies or emotions, what if that's exactly where you needed to be? Because what if that is exactly what wanted to be cleared, what wanted to be processed and alchemized by you? So don't make it wrong for feeling that way. The human experience is all about that duality. We can experience the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows. So how can we hold space and embrace both of them, both polarities? How can we integrate everything? How can, no matter what's arising, how can we bring it all in? How can we accept it all? How can we embrace it all? Instead of picking, I like these ones, but I don't like these ones. Because again, that creates resistance. And then it will just keep coming back. So when things do arise in our life, how can we be with them? How can we allow them? How can we drop out of our minds and into our hearts for a moment so we can see the bigger picture here, so we can allow healing and integration to occur? So I hope that helps, because we all go through resistance, and sometimes it can be the easiest thing and the most conditioned thing to blame another, to victimize another. Whereas they're just a reflection for you, this healing reflection. And it's up to us to actually see that and claim our power. Not hold in any hate, hurt, or resentment. And if you feel like you can't forgive in that moment, that's okay. As long as you recognize that ultimately the only person you need to forgive is yourself. And the more you integrate all these different parts of you that are hurt and are wanting healing and resolution and integration and acceptance, the more you won't go through those super lows, and the more you will be able to recognize it as they arise in your life, so it doesn't feel like you hit rock bottom. It's more like a steady wave rather than this crashing wave. And it's just a part of life. It's not some big event that, because it can make us feel almost paralyzed and like we can't do anything. So then we gain that mastery, that emotional mastery, that spiritual mastery. So I hope that helps, and that you remember that we're all one, we're all connected, and ultimately the inner wars that we feel within ourselves will reflect out in our life. So always come back to, how can I accept, how can I heal, how can I bring more harmony into this situation, ultimately within my own being, within my own consciousness. Every opportunity is asking us to expand our consciousness. Throughout our life, we're always being asked to give ourselves more love, to see through more love, to give more love. Are we going to take that opportunity? Are we going to become conscious and aware? Much love.